Hey, what's up? Ryan Kohler here, and today I wanted to take a few minutes and actually show you ChatGPT in action. I'm actually surprised by how many people have questions about it, even worse, have opinions about it, but haven't actually logged in and spent any time using it, especially for work. And I think it's just a little bit of a scary thing. You're not sure how it works, never used anything like it before, and so you're not sure what to do. You get in there and there's just an open chat box and you don't know what to type in there. So I figured I'd take a minute today and actually let you peek over my shoulder while I use ChatGPT to write a job ad. Now, keep in mind, super important, recruitment marketing is the same as marketing in that marketing is more than just making sure your ad shows up. It's more than just distribution. It's more than just job boards. It's about having a clear target market, a clear target reader in mind, and writing compelling and engaging and relevant content that will make them want to read more. If you can't get a job seeker to want to read more, they're definitely not going to want to apply. And that's really the way to think about it. Your job ad needs to make them want to read more. When you think about the funnel that is recruitment marketing, we really focus in on the fact that it needs and requires a lot of content. And all of this content needs to be specific, not just to the role, but to the reader. Now, let me restate that. The content needs to be specific, compelling, relevant, not just to the role, but to the reader. And the reader isn't the manager, they're not the job description, they're not a lawyer, they're not the HR person, they're not the owner. They're the potential person doing the job. They are your reader that you're trying to write to. Your goal is to compel them to take the next step. And throughout the entire talent engine, there's a whole lot of content that needs to be created. The problem is you're probably not a creative writer. And I wasn't when I started either. I'm a creative talker, not a creative writer. So I used to use a lot of audio and had somebody go and edit my information to clean it up. Now I have ChatGPT to help me with this. So I'm actually going to take a minute. I'm going to hop over into ChatGPT. I'm going to show you how we go about writing an ad with it. Now, first off, there are two different options for what you can use, two different models. I'm going to use ChatGPT 3.5 because it's faster right now, and also because I get great results from it as I approach it a little bit differently than most people. But let's just imagine that I came in here and said, I need to write a job ad for a barista opening. And I go ahead and hit enter and let it go. Let's talk about what just happened here. This is, imagine every time I create a new chat that it's a brand new employee. This chat, this string here, it looks like over here on the left side, actually I need to move it down, but on the left side will be all of your chats, all of your conversations. But just keep in mind, this model, when I put information in here, is going to rely on two main sources of information. Source number one is giant language model of OpenAI, of all this information that's consumed up to 2 years ago. Now, a lot of people get hung up on that, but let's be honest, not a lot has changed the last 2 years when it comes to a barista job, and so it doesn't matter. But number two, it's going to look above in the conversation. So if you see that there's nothing above, it means that it has no context about me. It knows everything about everything, but nothing about me in particular. Why is that so important? Well, a job ad as a barista can be different if that job is at Starbucks versus Dutch Bros. More importantly, if you come to find out that this barista job is for my country club, although they're all three are still making coffee, the experience and the workflow and all that stuff is very different. So as you look at this, number one, because I didn't tell it what type of company I was, I didn't tell it what company we are, I didn't tell it about our culture, our values, I didn't tell it about our work experience, whether we're work from home or hybrid or where we're at, it's going to come back with a fairly generic job ad. Number two, I didn't tell it what a job ad was. And so it's relying on all the examples of job ads that are out there in the world from the past 20 years. And clearly, at this point, job ads look a lot like job descriptions, responsibilities, requirements. This is not a very exciting job ad to read for a job seeker. And so if the goal is for that, then I need to give it some feedback. I need to define what a job ad is. And so I would define it. I would say, when I write job ads, I don't want boring job descriptions. unique. Sorry, I can't spell, something's in the way here. There we go. Unique, relevant, compelling, and credible to my reader, right? So I'm starting to give it some feedback. So it starts thinking about what type of information goes in it. Now you can see we're getting a lot more who are we, your role, but we're still getting requirements and responsibilities and qualifications in here that maybe aren't as engaging. You see the top and the perks of being a coffee barista. So you see what happened here. It got a little bit more exciting, and above and below the requirements, it became more focused on the job seeker, but there's still a lot of bullet points in there that I don't really appreciate. The other thing is I didn't figure out who I'm writing it to. And so I might stop right here and say, can you right? I can start with going back to the who. Who do we want to clone? Now, the best way to do that would be able to look at your current people and say which ones were awesome, where did they come from? But so I might look at this one and say, great, I want to write that specifically talks about why our job is an upgrade for someone who is currently, right? So now I'm giving it a little bit more narrow definition of who is the reader. What is it that they do right now? Why would they want this job compared to the job they're doing right now, right? You can see it's starting to talk more and more in their language, right? Yes, it has qualifications, but the experience up here was a lot more about why they would want to do the job. This is a much better job at this point. Now, I might expand this and say, can you see, a country club barista is a little bit different. They don't have the quantity of people coming through. They have fewer people, but they're more discerning. There's a more luxurious atmosphere. It's about making personalized member connections. So you can see all of a sudden, personalized member connections would be a terrible thing for somebody at Starbucks because it would slow down the line. But when we're at a country club and it goes a little bit slower, we're now looking for a different type of person. I might actually ask it, what would the differences be right? Now this is going to start to give me some information. Is this going to be perfect? No. This is what I could then go and talk to my manager about, my individuals about, my team about, because you see, we're not just hiring any barista, we're hiring a barista for the country club. It's different than just hiring one at Starbucks, and this gives us that ability to get this information back. You see, now I can have it rewrite the ad, but maybe now I want to write, oh my gosh, there we go, write the barista ad for my country club in a compelling story-based way using a witty and casual tone of voice. See, now I'm getting more specific about what I want it to do, right? It's becoming more of a story. It's becoming something that they can see themselves as the hero in. The qualifications are becoming less and less important. And the why they would want the job is becoming more and more important. And so now we're starting to get a really great job ad coming out of ChatGPT, but it's because we've done some work in creating the context and creating the definition of what we mean by job ad and what we mean by compelling and who the reader is and who our target is. At this point, we have great content. I can now take and finish this up. I could say, create for me some job screening questions. Now, again, I'm being fairly generic here with what is going to come back. Most likely it's going to be open-ended questions. Once again, think about it. Its definition of job screening is phone screens, not automated video interviews, not because I didn't tell it. Now it knows what those are, But if I want it to be multiple choice where I can actually score and rank candidates, I need to tell it. And so I'd say rewrite these as multiple choice. Right? Now I'm telling it what I want it to be. Now, even in this instance, it still may not be the type of tone I want. And so I could rewrite them with a witty and engaging tone for the answers, right? Maybe I want the answers to be a little bit more witty, right? Maybe that is what we do. Maybe that's more of our tone of voice, more of our vibe, our culture, etc. And so we're able to do this just with this back and forth. Because I've now got this conversation about baristas, I would save this one. This is where I'd come back to create an offer letter, to create communication back and forth, to create a 90-day drip email sequence to train and bring somebody into the fold and teach them about our team and our value and culture, etc. This one conversation thread, I've now invested my time and efforts into to make it work the way I want it to work. Now, there are some other options. I can jump over here and show you an easier way to do it when it's a reoccurring activity like a job ad. We have a special tool called Draft for Me. It allows us to go in and build out your employer profile, to go out and build your job personas for each of your jobs, to then make it so that you can use our prompts, our wording, our terminology by just choosing a killer job ad or a short job ad or an irreverent job ad, and it will turn around and write it for you. If you want to rewrite this ad, you can save it, come down here and pick a different type of job ad to write, a different formula, a different framework, or we can even create your own custom templates and your own custom frameworks for your job ads to make sure they sound like you and that they're different than everybody else's. You can quickly switch the reader, the target to be somebody else. You can switch the job to be something else and continue to go back and forth. You can also add your team to this so that you're sharing all of that context and backstory that we built into the tool with your team so that you're all doing the same exact thing. We're continually and constantly adding more and more prompts and threads every single day, not just for recruiting, but for all types of content that HR might need. But more importantly, if you come and become a member of our group, we'll be your superhero sidekick, not just the tool. What we actually do is we provide you with templates and training and strategy sessions, 90-day jumpstart programs, and hand-on support, not just for Draft for Me, but also for ChatGPT or Bard or whatever platform you're going to use. We provide you with content to get you started, threads to jumpstart off of, but also coaching on how to use it. We offer challenges. If you have a project you're working on, you can be in a buddy group of people doing the same exact thing, creating a barista new hire training session or creating new job ads for your country club. And finally, collaboration, not just collaboration with your team, but also with other people who use our platform in your industry. It's all just $99 per month, month by month, no long-term contract, but also you can get a 14-day free trial. So if you sign up for the 14-day free trial, we will help you and hold your hand in getting to the point where you see exactly how it works, where it's working for you, it's building projects for you. You can see how much time it's going to save you and how much better your life is going to be using it before you actually commit to paying. And so we are super excited to show off our new tools, our new membership, our new club, if you want it to call it that, where you can come together with us and have us mentor, help, coach, support you along your way to making your job easier while also producing better content for your readers, i.e. job seekers and employees. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon.